Hey guys, before we head on to this episode, I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much for supporting the podcast. Because of you guys, the podcast is now a top three. It's now the top three podcast here in the Philippines. It's real. I can't believe it. But I have you guys to thank for that. I am really grateful for each and every one of you. And I will never, ever forget this moment that I am here. But the work is not yet finished. There's still a lot of things that we need to improve on, which is why I am announcing that I will be having a self improvement webinar entitled Your Best Year Ever, a start to your personal greatness. It is going to be a 3 hour webinar, and we're going to talk all about self improvement. Everything that I learned, I will share there. So if you guys want to join that, then make sure that you send me a message right now at Alec Cuenca. The website is not yet finished, but I am accepting a waiting list, or you could already reserve your slot right now. So if you are interested in that, then send me a message on Instagram at Alec Cuenca. And yeah, there are only going to be 100 slots available for this webinar. So make sure that you reserve your slot right now. And with that, let's head on to the episode. So if you're interested in that, then send me a message.
Hello? Hello?
Podcast Network Asia.
Hey guys, welcome back to Small Talk, small conversations with huge impact. My name is Alec Cuenca and I'm your host. And before anything else, I would like to greet each and every one of you. Welcome back to the show. It's been a while. It feels like it's been a while, but I'm really happy that you're here and listening to this episode. If this is your first time, then I hope that you enjoy this episode. And yeah, go ahead and check out the other amazing episodes because they have a lot of insights that could potentially change your life. So go listen to them. If you are an avid listener of the podcast, welcome back. I am so happy that you're here, and I can't wait for you to listen to hear what I'm about to share with you today, because today is going to be about the topic that I dearly love. It's going to be all about habits, which is the main topic, or the main theme um, of August in the Better Me Project. The Better Me Project is a group coaching session that I have. And we do weekly live trainings every single week. We just did the first one last Monday, and then we're gonna do every Mondays 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. It's a very fun way that you could learn more, or we could talk more about the topics that we have here in the podcast. So if you are interested, go ahead and check or send me a message on Instagram at Small Talk Podcast or at Alec Cuenca. But today we are going to talk about the 5 different habits that you should have in your 20s. Now, this is not going to be the usual habits that you'd see on the internet, like the habit of waking up at 5 a.m. or some stuff like that. Those stuff, right? But I want to go into a more or a different kind of approach. So I listed down 5 habits, or this is mainly the foundation of how you could basically become better in life. This is something that I created in myself, and I created in myself. I instilled in myself. I patterned myself using these habits that I saw that a lot of successful people do. Now, successful, if you want to be successful, regardless of whatever success is or whatever success means to you, if you want to become successful, it's very simple. Just do the things that the unsuccessful people are not doing, right? It's simple as that. Look at the people who are unsuccessful and then do the opposite. I have grown and seen a lot of unsuccessful people. And for me, when I say that they're unsuccessful is because at the age of where they are, they're growing up, they're getting old, and they're unhappy with their lives. And for a lot of people, they think that life just happens to them. Life just, minalas lang talaga, kaya ganun yung buhay. But the truth is, they have the ability to design their lives. They didn't just want to nung may chance pa sila. So right now, they think that it's all over, wala na magagawa. And I didn't want that to be my life. So I looked at the different habits that I could have for me to live a different life from those people that I didn't want to mimic. Okay, like no offense, maybe it's not their fault. Maybe, their parents or the traumas really fucked them up. But the truth is, I didn't want to be like that. So I tried it in a different way. Okay? So these are the habits that I learned along the way. So the first habit is the habit of learning. And when I talk about learning, I don't talk about going to college or getting high grades in college. In fact, if you're not a doctor, if you're not an engineer, or if you don't want to be, if you're not going to be a doctor, if you're not going to be an engineer, if you're not going to be a lawyer, I suggest you learn outside of college. In fact, you learn more outside of college. The learning that I'm pertaining to is learning about life. And there are so many things to learn about life. In fact, I really believe that the curriculum we have in different colleges, they're just putting stuff there that are not even relevant to the skills that you need to have once you're outside that college, that school. Now, I'm not a professor. I'm not I'm an amateur at school, but I have seen a lot of people get degrees and still be unhappy with their lives. Go out of their colleges and they are, they don't know what they're gonna do with their lives. Hindi pa rin nila alam yung skills nila, yung talents nila. But if you become a student of life, if you instill the habit of learning, you will become a continuous project that will raise your value in terms of raising your skills, in terms of raising your expertise at things, and that will lead you to a better life. A lot of people, when they're asked, how much do you get paid? They'll say, well, I get paid 400 pesos per hour. Is that right? I don't think so. Because if that is the case, then you could just spend time sa bahay nyo not doing anything and you'll still get paid 400 pesos per hour. No, you are not getting paid 400 pesos per hour. You are getting paid by the value that you put in the time. So is it possible for you to earn more money in the society? Of course, right? But how do you increase that? You increase that by increasing your value. And no, I'm not saying that you can be a very valuable Christian, brother, son, a very, very valuable person in this world. But in the marketplace, in the society, if you want to be better, then you need to become more valuable. Let me tell you one thing. And I want you guys to take this down, take note of this. You have attracted the life that you have by becoming the person that you are. If you understand this concept right here, you would know that everything that is happening in your life right now, it's because of who you are. So if you want to become happier, then you need to become more. If you want to have more things, then you need to become more. And how do you become more? By increasing your value. And how do you increase your value? You learn more. You learn more skills. You learn more expertise. You get more knowledge. You get more wisdom. A lot of people, they're praying for, life to get easier. Don't wish for that. Wish that you get better. Wish that that the problems don't get easier. Wish that you become more skilled so that you'll know how to handle the resources that you have right now. And what I mean by you learning or getting the habit of learning, one way you could do that is to read more books. Guys, a lot of, when someone comes to me and they say how they want to get better, I ask them, well, how many books have you read for the past 2-3 months? They say none. Makes sense. That's why you're not better. Because you're not continuously learning. And I want to share with you one amazing thing that just happened recently. At exactly 5 years ago, I was in a coffee shop. I'll share this on my stories. I was in a coffee shop, and I was reading a book by Tony Robbins. And at that time, I didn't know what was the effect, what will happen if I do that. So, I just read that, being a cool kid who's interested in self-improvement. But I built the habit of learning, right? So I was reading the book. 5 years after, there was this one morning that I woke up. I didn't feel good. So I go, it's gonna be a bad day. And then what happened was, after like 10 minutes of soaking, of not trying to get up, I got 3 emails, 2 speaking engagements, invitations, and then there's this one brand that wanted to work with me. And I was like, how is that possible? How is it possible that I didn't do anything? I didn't even get out of my bed, but I got 3 opportunities that came to my way. It's because of the habits that I built 5 years ago. It's because 5 years ago, I created, or I instilled, the habit of learning more and more and more and more. And now I could easily speak to people, talk to people, present myself to people, because I kept on learning and I kept on becoming 1% better every single day, through one book, through one blog post, through one video, one educational video. I kept on learning. So if you want to start on learning, you need to read books. If you want a list if you don't know where to start, I have a list on my Facebook page, Alec Cuenca. I wrote in one of my blog posts the 20 self-improvement books that you need to read in your 20s. So if you're interested in that, go check that out. Okay? Now, the second habit that you should instill in yourself, or you should have in your 20s, is reflecting. The habit of reflecting. In these days, we're always pushed to do more. But there's no really room for reflection. And I have been a very reflective person. I believe that everything that has happened in the past are not just, something that we throw away. Everything that has happened in the past happened for a reason. And we won't get that reason if we won't know that reason if we won't reflect on it. Hey guys, before we proceed to the rest of the episode, I just want to share something that I discovered recently. I am a firm believer that we need to protect ourselves and our data online. We need to securely access different apps, different websites, different entertainment services as we browse across the internet. And a good thing that I learned about NordVPN. NordVPN makes sure that all of our data stays safe behind a wall of next generation encryption. It's the fastest VPN. We don't need to sacrifice speed for better security. It also offers uninterrupted streaming, and you can use it on multiple devices. We partnered with NordVPN through Podmetrics for you guys to also enjoy the same experience. They have an amazing promo right now that allows you to get 73% off of the 2-year plan plus 4 months free when you use our link in the description and code before checking out. They also offer a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Sign up for a NordVPN account now. The past is very valuable. The past is very important. But you gotta make it important. You gotta squeeze it. It's like a lemon. You gotta squeeze it to make lemonade. It's not just gonna make a lemonade out of itself. You need to squeeze it. And how do you squeeze it? You reflect on it. A lot of people are into self-improvement, but they're not writing on their journals. And that's crazy because you need to have a journal when you want to get better. Why? Because when you're writing on your journal, you become a student of yourself. You study yourself and you look at yourself. Where are the things that I could get better? What are the things that I did right? And so that I could replicate them in the future. What are the things that I did wrong so that I can stay away from it in the future? What happened in my day? What happened in my week? What happened in my month? What happened in my life? Why am I unhappy right now? Why am I in this place that I'm not, that I don't want to be in anymore? What happened? You can only see that if you reflect. So make it a priority to reflect. May it be every night, may it be every week, may it be every month. Reflect on your life. And when you reflect on your life, you'll get the lessons, right? If you're 25 years old, by the way, it's my birthday on Saturday. Please, kung gusto niyo ako regaluhan, wala namang masama doon. Send lang kayo message sa akin. But if you want to show support, then just you guys sharing the story on Instagram, that would be very great. And I also have a merch coming out, by the way. So that's a secret, but I already shared it here. But if you want to be the first people who wants to get dibs on the merch, send me a message. By the way, anyway, sorry for that segue. As I was saying, if you want to reflect on your life, like I'm nearing 25 years old. If I am going to reflect on my life, like what did I do right for the past 25 years, and I'm going to invest it in my 26th year, that's gonna be bonkers. I'm going to have my best year next year because I am going to reflect on my life and I'm going to invest it in my next year. Better if you're 28, 29, 30 years old, you have experience. The only problem is you're not reflecting on it. If you reflect on it now, the 30 years worth of experience, and you're going to invest that in your 31st year, imagine how amazing your life would be. Imagine how much wisdom you can get from just reflecting on it. So build the habit of reflecting. Close the door. Shut everything out. Look at your life, where you are right now and what happened so far. So that's the second habit. The third habit that you need to have in your 20s is the habit of communicating. I wanted to say building relationships, right? It's very important that you build your network. Your network is your net worth, okay? I'm not here to debate this with you, but if you hang out with 5 people who are basically broke, then you're gonna be the 6th person that's gonna be broke. If you hang out with 5 people who are who are millionaires, then you're gonna be the sixth person that's gonna be a millionaire. Okay, that's another topic to discuss. But if you want to expand your network, if you want to be in a better position, you need to communicate properly. You need to be able to break down the complexities inside your mind and turn them into simple words that people can understand. Guys, I am not the wisest person in this world. I'm not the smartest. We all know that. I'm not the most good looking person here. But what sets me apart from the other content creators out there is because I know how to communicate my thoughts to you guys. This has been my main strength. And communicating yourself is a skill. And a skill is something that can be learned. A lot of people might say, na Alec, wala eh, may experience ka. No, I was not this good in communicating my thoughts before. That's the reason why I started my TikTok account. It's because I said I needed practice. So every single day I posted a video talking, hoping na wala makakita kasi puro mali and very sloppy ang execution. But I practiced every single day for 21 to 30 days straight. I posted a video. And after 2-3 months, one video of mine got viral. But I built the habit of communicating. And I could remember one time, I get this comment a lot actually from the people that I talk to who are much older than me. They would say na, how old are you again? Like, you're 24 years old and you speak like that? It's not that my ideas are fresh or new or something that's completely groundbreaking. It's just that I know how to communicate myself properly. And when I say communicate, you should also look at how are you presenting yourself to other people. Everything you do in life is selling. You need to be able to sell yourself. Some people might say, I'm an introvert. I can't do that. No. I have met a lot of introvert people that knows how to communicate their ideas to other people. You need people in life. Trust me on that. You can't go far without building relationships with other people. So regardless if you're an introvert or an extrovert or an ambivert or any vert, you need to be able to communicate yourself properly. Because what comes out of your mouth is a representation of what's inside of your heart and of your mind. So regardless if you're the purest person in the world, but if you can't communicate your thoughts properly, it will be useless. Practice communication skills. It's one of the best advice that I could ever give to you. The fourth habit that you should practice, should have in your 20s, is showing up. The habit of showing up. I really believe if, success is, 50% showing up. Just show up. Guys, and what I mean when I say show up is show up when you don't feel like it. Show up when you don't want to do the work. Show up when you have an emergency, have, a lot of things that you're worrying about. A lot of doubts, a lot of fears. Show up then, especially. Kapag ayaw mo, you have more the reason to show up. That's building discipline. And when you build discipline, that will lead to excellence. That will lead you to a better life. So practice showing up. Regardless kung alam mo ba, kung, a lot of people are getting paralyzed by perfectionism. They feel like they're not ready for things that's happening in their lives. And I could remember one cousin of mine. I would ask him if he could do this job, and he would say, "I'll try." No, That's the wrong answer. You need to say yes, and then you need to figure out how to get it done. That's been my thesis for my entire life. Most of the opportunities that came in my way, I said yes, even though I wasn't 100% sure if I could do that, but I needed to show up. That's a habit that I built back in college. I hated college, but at least that's one habit that I was able to build there. I hated the professor. I hated the college. I hated the subject. I hated my classmates, but I had to show up because it was my duty to show up. And I failed a lot, even though I did. But the ability to push through when things are going hard, when things are not going your way, when you show up, you'll become unstoppable. When you're relentless in the pursuit of becoming better, nobody can stop you. You can never be the man who refuses to stay down. So show up. Build the discipline in your life. Build the small habits, even the big habits in your life. Show up in all aspects of your life. Not just, showing up sa work mo, but you're not showing up for your finances, for your mental health, for your relationships, for your spiritual life. In the different aspects of your life, show up. How you do one thing is how you do everything. You can't be excellent at some other stuff and then yung iba hindi mo inaayos, ibang parte ng buhay mo hindi mo inaayos. You just need to show up. If you can be successful at one aspect in your life, you can replicate the success that you have in the other areas in your life. Do not be limited by the belief na, hindi lahat naman ng tao may flaws and ganyan. No. It's because you're just choosing the places that you want to show up. But the truth is, you can show up. This is your active participation in becoming better. Show up. If you say that you're going to wake up at 5 a.m., then wake the hell up at 5 a.m. If you're saying that you're going to start a podcast very soon, if you're going to get Kuya Alec, you're going to get me as a mentor, then go message me. Show up then. Find a way. Make a way to make it happen. Find a way to make it happen. Show up for yourself because you owe it to yourself. It's not for me. It's not for me. I'm not getting anything out of this. But you owe this to yourself. So you need to show up for yourself. Show up for the family that you have, the friends that believes in you, the friends that believe in you. Show up for them. Show up for God. He gave you amazing gifts. You just need to use them right now. And it's an insult if you don't. So show up. Build that habit. Okay? The fifth habit that you need to have is the habit of focusing. It's the habit of being indistractable. And, building focus, it's a totally entire topic to discuss. But if I'm going to leave you with one thing, I hope that you stop thinking that you can multitask. You cannot multitask. Focus on one project. Give your 100% to that. And when it's done, move on. A lot of people sabi nila na, galing naman ito, ang daming ginagawa. The fact that they are able to do that is because nung nagsisimula sila, they focused on mastering one thing. And when they did master that, they can now move on to the other stuff. If you're starting in this area called self-improvement, I want you to focus on one thing. Muna. Then go focus on the other. But you need to be able to focus on your goals. Focus on yourself. Do not let other things distract you. If you said that you're going to love yourself more this year, then you need to focus on that. Which is why it's very important that you write down your goals and you repeat it every single day. Is for you to be reminded of what you need to focus on. So when distractions come in your life, and I'm telling you there are a lot of distractions that are going to come into your life, it's going to try to persuade you to move away from your goals, going to distract you. You need to be laser focused on what you want to happen. Learn to let go of the things that are not important to you. We can only say yes to the things that truly matter to us if we know how to say no to the things that we need to let go. Build the habit of focusing one thing at a time. There is no pride in being able to do 100 mediocre things or 100 average things. But there's pride. There's, I think there's a quote that I'd fear a man who practiced one kick 1,000,000 times or 1,000 times. Then 1,000, a man practiced 1,000 kicks and did it only one time. Get the point? I hope you get the point from that quote. It's kind of like that. But it's so dangerous if you learn how to focus on one thing. And maybe you'll get to be known for only 1 to 2 things in life. You can do anything in your life, but you can't do everything. I've focused on becoming a podcaster. I focused on sharing wisdom. I could be an engineer. I could write books. I could do, created videos and vlogs, but I didn't. I focused. I doubled down on the things that worked for me. The things that truly made me happy, that made my work fulfilling and my life meaningful. I focused on that. So build the habit of focusing on one thing at a time, and focusing on your goals and focusing on yourself. Okay? So that's it for this episode. I hope that you enjoy this one. By the way, guys, if you're listening to this, I will be having a TikTok masterclass on August 14. If you want to join that, then send me a message on Instagram at Alec Cuenca. I will be joined by Miss Faith. And basically, we will share with you how we were able to grow our accounts from 0 to 100,000 in just 1 month. So yes, please join that if you want to level up your social media game. And if you want to learn more about podcasting, I am conducting the 5th batch of the Podcast Academy on August 21st and 22nd. The details will be available on Instagram as well. So make sure that you follow me there at Small Talk Podcast. And also please join my group coaching sessions. It's one of the best things in the world. It's an amazing community. We have free workout sessions, by the way. We have an exclusive book club, so you'll be interested if you're really committed in improving yourself. Join that group. Okay. Thank you guys for joining. My name is Alec Cuenca. This is Small Talk, Small Conversations with Huge Impact. And I will talk to you guys next episode. Bye-bye.
The views and opinions expressed by the podcast creators, hosts, and guests do not necessarily reflect the official policy and position of Podcast Network Asia. Any content provided by the people on the podcast are of their own opinion and are not intended to malign any religion, ethnic group, club, organization, company, individual, or anyone or anything.